We begin with reports that the National Sports Commission in Nigeria is undergoing significant changes, with President Bola Tinubu's administration scrapping the Ministry of Sports Development and tasking the commission with its responsibilities. As Shehu Diko takes the helm as chairman, his agenda is crucial in shaping the future of Nigerian sports. As Diko takes charge, he faces challenges such as implementing structural reforms to establish the commission as a permanent body empowered by law. Additionally, engaging genuine stakeholders to drive growth and development in Nigerian sports will be crucial. By addressing the current challenges and priorities, analysts hope Diko can drive Nigerian sports towards a brighter future. His experience and vision, they hope, will be invaluable in achieving these objectives and establish the National Sports Commission as a leading sports authority in Africa. Sports analyst Effiong Nyong joins us now to discuss Tinubu cabinet reshuffle in sports and setting agenda for the new helmsman at the Nigerian Sports Commission, Shehu Diko. Good to have you on Newsday. Thank you for joining us.
Great pleasure to be here.
Now, a lot of people have commended the move by President Bola Tinubu to reshuffle or restructure the sports ministry, of course, letting go of the Ministry of Sport and now giving way or bringing back the National Sports Commission. I'd like to get your reaction to that, especially seeing this new body headed by Shehu Diko, which a lot of people, whom a lot of people have praised as an experienced hand that would reshape the face of sports in Nigeria.
Yeah, my initial reaction, like most people, is to say it's a welcome development that the Ministry of Sports, that before now has been run as a sole administratorship, where the minister knows it all, does it all, and determines whatever he wants and how he wants it done. The Sports Commission presents us an opportunity to go back. I wish we'll go back in almost every other thing that we know we've gone wrong in this country, to readdress issues and take them one after the other. This portends a good development if we allow ourselves to, or if the leaders or those that have been saddled with the responsibility, like Shehu Diko, goes about it the correct way by ensuring that the National Sports Commission is in truth a National Sports Commission, having to take cognizance of the fact that what the National Commission, National Sports Commission, the way it used to be, has a board that superintends over it. That board is made up of different professionals, different experienced sports administrators and ex-sportsmen, captains of industry who have interest in sports, to sit together in a board and determine what direction sports should go. Of course, with the chairmanship of Shehu Diko. There's also the need to have a director general who's going to be running and administering sports as a chief executive, that will be liaising between the Sports Commission and different sports federations, because in Nigeria today we have over 54 different sports. To administer that, you need a director general that will be that's managing those 54 sports as different sports federations, and that will need some great element of capacity and intellect to manage. That's on one side. The other side, to which Shehu Diko will have to address, the issue of having all of these 54 sports, all of them have their secretariats at the National Stadium, Abuja. And you ask yourself, how many sportsmen are in Abuja? What facilities are in Abuja? How can they manage effectively all of these sports under one roof and get results? So the task for Shehu Diko will also include ensuring that the zonal or the regional expression that we now have, the geopolitical zones, that he gets to establish zonal outposts of the commission in those areas, and having technically endowed people to manage those areas, and of course decentralization of sports administration from the current method that we call it currently, where everything is housed under one roof. That's on one hand. The Sports Commission will also determine an appropriate relationship with the Nigerian Olympic Committee, which serves as the window between Nigeria and international sporting organizations like the International Olympic Committee, ANOCA, African Olympic Committees Association, the All Africa Games, Commonwealth Games Association, the FIFA, and all of these bodies relate with the Nigeria Olympic Committee. So, but all of these issues all of the activities of all of these bodies were taken in by one man that less informed. That's the sports minister, as it were previously, before now. So that's one issue that this will serve. The other thing this will serve will be the National Sports Commission should be able to take back the different sports facilities that belong to the federal government and administer them as its own facilities for training. Now, previously, the previous two ministers had engaged themselves in trying to concede or concession or give out or sell some of these sports facilities across the country as a way of, as an extreme position of lack of capacity to manage these facilities. So we expect that the National Sports Commission, as presently constituted, will take back its facilities, partner with interested individuals, partner with sports federations, partner with individuals who are ready to invest in sports, to develop sports, and look at the money side of sports, the business of sport in its entirety. I think it's a welcome development if practiced or if administered the proper way. Because one thing in Nigeria is that we have all of these talents around us. For instance, at what point did we throw up the National Sports Commission? It takes us to about 2 ministers behind. Solomon Dalon, we're getting ready for the All Africa Games and in 2014 and 2015. 2015 to 2016, the Olympic Games. And Solomon Dalon came on as sports minister and unilaterally scrapped the sports ministry and the sports commission, taking all of the assignments that were under the sports commission into the sports ministry. His lack of capacity and the lack of capacity of his team is what showed up in years between that time and now. And Sunday Dare that succeeded him continued like that, and John Owaneno, the immediate past sports minister, also continued, despite advice, despite submissions that, no, this is not the way to go, they wouldn't listen. And all along, we didn't even know that, Nigerians did not know that the Sports Commission bill had even gone beyond the second reading that was already assented to, but of course, because it suited them personally, they wouldn't let it see the light of day. So I would say it's a welcome development.
I'm glad you mentioned the issue of talent and youth development and converting young talents to sporting gains now. I would like to know how we have fared over time, especially in aquatic sports like swimming and boating. You find a scenario whereby the Niger Delta is abundant with talents like this, but yet we fail to see it in major games like the Olympics. So if you can shed more light onto that.
Because of the administration, the management. The management has been poor. And we will expect that if we know places, we know ourselves, like the aquatic sports now, that people that are in the Niger Delta region are naturally endowed with capacity and capabilities to manipulate or maneuver water sports. But the administration of swimming is in Abuja. So how do you administer swimming and swimming facilities in Abuja? How many of these swimming facilities does the federal government own? As at today, federal government used to own 4. One in Ahmadu Bello Stadium, one at Liberty Ibadan, the National Stadium Surulere, and the one in Abuja. Now, the Ahmadu Bello Stadium they had given to the Kaduna State government. I hear that they want to give the one to Ibadan to Oyo State government, and the one in Lagos, they were planning to give it as concession to different individuals that were bidding. In essence, if this development didn't happen, then before you know what is happening, the National Sports Commission as well would not have owned any facility. Then how do you train your athletes? How do you coach them? How do you develop them when you don't have a facility of your own? Except that each time you want to bring in your national athletes, you begin to look for who to beg, or who to go and borrow, or who to go and appeal to. When you actually have these facilities on that where you're giving out to friends and cronies and people like that. So that's been our situation. Now back to swimming the Niger Delta is endowed. Yeah. So with this, we are believing that Shehu Diko will be able to take advice. The new board of the National Sports Commission will be able to take advice to look at what we have done holistically. Where are sports that people are naturally endowed? We know that in the south, southeast, we have people that are good boxing, boxing, weightlifting. Of course, you recall that in the days of when we had the old National Sports Commission under Isaac Akio, we had Oliver Rock, he was world champion. Yeah. We had Patrick Bassi, he was world Commonwealth champion. We had Lawrence Ikwebom, he was world champion. We had several Nigerians from the south, current south, were power lifters representing Nigeria and were world champions. So, and today you can't see any of those ones near winning any titles.
Before we let you go, let's not forget that the Paris Olympics, which we came back with no medals from, we had 88 representatives from Nigeria at that sport. And you'd recall that the former sports minister, John Owaneno, made mention of the fact that it was because of lack of preparations owing to the fact that he resumed office just a year before the Games. What do you foresee? What are your expectations and the things you think should be in place, especially now that we have the National Sports Commission, to ensure that Nigeria is ably represented in other sports and that we also come back home with more medals at Los Angeles?
Well, first, let me address the issue of John Owaneno saying he just resumed 1 year ago. On his resumption of office, I'm sure there was something like handing over notes. And if there were any such notes, he would have taken it. And as he had experienced man in Nigeria, a former House of Reps member, former senator, and a lawyer and all, he will get into an office, there are questions you ask. What questions did he ask? Who are the persons whom he asked those questions? Of course, if you are not asking the right persons what the right answers to what right questions, you are definitely not going to get right answers. That said, now 1 year to the Olympic Games, Nigeria already had A-list artists. We already had 2 world champions. We had Toby Amushon in 110 hurdles. We had Ese Brume, who was also a champion. We had Oboro Dudu. We had several Nigerians who were within the medal range. For anybody that wants to win a medal, first you catch these athletes, give them...
Going to Los Angeles now, what are the measures that should be in place?
Well, good thing we have the Sports Commission. 2, we also still have the A-list artists. 3, I expect that the Shehu Diko should work fast, that he gets quality advice for a lot of quality individuals who are available, who are ready to give him advice, who are ready to work. Because the Nigerian project is a project for all of us. And no matter whether you are on months, he does not need to sit on the fence. All we need at this point is come together, share ideas, get our facilities back and running. Get those that are manning some facilities, partner with them, and ensure that all of this is put together for the betterment of Nigeria.
Very good. Effiong Nyong, sports analyst, would like to thank you for your thoughts on this issue. It's good to have you with us as always.
Great pleasure. Thank you.